Hello and welcome to Where the Living Room Used to Be, a podcast about Rhode Island's music scene. Hey everyone, it's James. On this bonus episode, Jesse Ramos shares the attitude towards live shows that he learned from touring with Jared Paul, his thoughts on why you don't have to be hurtful to be an expressive artist, and how he draws upon the human condition in his music. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you could leave a rating or review wherever you listen to your podcasts, that would be awesome and super helpful to get the word out about the show. So thanks and enjoy.
Is there a piece of music advice that you've been given, from a mentor, collaborator, that, just someone that you've worked with that you'd like to pass along, something that resonated with you that affected you?
I would say going back to, Jared Paul's influence on me, and the first piece is he had a song he came out with the album that we toured with, and it was 5 or 5,000, and the whole song was just about pretty much in a live performance, or I guess you could even take it back to when you're writing, it doesn't matter if there's 5 people listening or at the show or 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Having that, it doesn't really matter what the crowd size is. It's just staying true to yourself and performing or writing, who cares who's listening? You got to come with the same energy and thoughtfulness as you would, no matter the crowd size, no matter the listener size. So that was always cool to me, and that's definitely stuck with me. I remember him and I played a show out in Budapest. It was funny because there was there's 2 shows going on, and we had our little artist room. There was an outdoor venue, and there was hundreds of people out there drinking, partying. I was like, damn, we're really about to play to 200 people in Budapest.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's some wild shit. And then they were like, oh no, you're in this other room. and there was just one dude there. We played to one dude. I remember his name was Spencer, and he bought all the merch and everything, and he was front row. And I was like, shit, this is what that song was about. You really gotta he came here to see it. We gotta put on the full show for him. We can't be bummed out that nobody's here. Who cares?
Yeah.
And fortunately we got to play some big shows too. So we had that kind of oscillating feeling where it was it's got to be the same show no matter what.
Yeah.
And the second piece is just, with close friends over the years who stayed, musically interested and who I grew up with, is just remaining honest musically, and just kind of talking about, what's important to me, and just staying true to whoever Jesse is,
Mm-hmm.
and not trying to go anywhere outside of that. Just the more honest I can be in music, the more, and the connections I can make off of that honesty, what's cooler than that? Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
with the grandma song, it's that's what I want to do it for. I don't want people to think I'm cool or anything, because I'm not very cool. I just want people to hear my writing and say oh, cool, that hit one of my heartstrings.
Yeah.
I remember a cool time I had with this person close to me, or I remember when I felt like this and I got out of it, and that's it. It's just creating personal stuff that people can resonate with is what's important to me, and that'll always be the driving force behind it.
Nice. And then with your own experience of writing for years and working with a bunch of different producers and stuff like that, and kind of just learning a lot about being an artist, is there something that you would pass along from your own view?
In relation to that, it's just remaining true to yourself and do it for as long as you enjoy it. And that should be the most important part. Is it's not a selfish thought to say, you know, I create for myself, because when it's shared is a beautiful thing. But to be able to express yourself and enjoy the stuff you're talking about and how it's shared is there's really nothing better than that. And just trying to, I mean, I guess for like, I would love to, you know, be the mentor that Jared and other like older dudes have been for me, and it just being like, you know, like, you're cool, you can do this.
Yeah.
You're just as cool as anybody else.
Yeah.
Just try not to say stupid shit when you rap. You know?
Yeah, people will hear and they'll be like, "That's so stupid."
Yeah. Don't you know? Don't take other people down when you're creating. Yeah. That's important too. I mean, I really fine tune my stuff, like the stuff I was saying in high school to when I got older. You know, it's like you can be a wildly expressive person and not have to say, you know, bad, hurtful shit in your music. You know, so like that's what I try to say. You know, I work with a couple younger dudes and, you know, trying to fine tune their writing. I can't do names because if I leave anybody out, I'll feel bad. But, you know, like, I try not to be too grandpa-ish, but, you know, like a huge lesson I learned was like, just cut all that like misogynistic bullshit out of your hip hop stuff. Like it's not necessary. You know what I mean? Like I'm still creating and I'm playing shows, and I didn't have to say any hurtful shit in my music. I can still be an aggressive MC, but, you know, like in my Clarity song, I'm like, I'll break a MC's, you know, chicken bones over my leg. That's about as mean as I'll get. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean? But that kind of like old school 90s hip hop mentality, like, oh, attack another rapper. That's all fun in games, but you can express yourself and stay true and honest and thoughtful, and, you know, retain who you are and say stuff that's important. You know, I think it's important to say stuff that's important.
I mean, that honesty is what comes through. Being able to share those experiences. I mean, even just, you know, I'm not a hip hop historian, but it started people talking about what was going on around them, you know?
Yeah.
If you're just
storytelling,
making shit up, you know, just to sound like that, like it sounds like you're making shit up, you know, at least to me. I mean, I've listened to hip hop for a long time, and again, I'm not like an expert compared to a lot of people, but you kind of tell like when it's coming through as authentic music or you know, real experiences.
And big album for me, one of the first vinyls I had was Illmatic by Nas. And the whole thing is just like beautiful storytelling, you know what I mean? And it's just the same thing as when you read like a really cool book or you watch a film and it's just like, you're like, wow, like this person is painting something. It's like I'm being taken along on the story and I'm experiencing, you know, what they go through, and maybe there's some small things I can relate to in these stories, and just the continuance of storytelling, just like the beginning of whenever people started making music, you know, it's all created with the intention of human connection, talking about the human condition and hopefully creating human connection through it.
Yeah.
You know?
And last little bit, like what inspires you? It could be anything in music, but just in life as well, you know?
Other people and what they're going through, and, you know, family, nature, just living things, I guess, and dead things, why not, you know? But I would say just like the human condition is inspiring to me, just like survival in general, you know, like trying to make it through what is an incredibly strange and difficult world at times, and just like that whole navigation process is what really, you know, inspires me most, is people's trek of being human, I would say.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for listening. In the full podcast, we touched upon how Jesse worked with the artist Slitty on a record called Asthma, and that all began when Slitty reached out to Jesse to be part of this next song called Slow, and it's just awesome to see the relationship that's come out of this and the amount of creative output from these two awesome dudes. So without further ado, enjoy this next song.
Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just stop for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. Let me tell you about the knowledge that I wish I didn't know. Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just pause for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. Let me tell you about the knowledge that I wish I didn't know. These are mental complexities that we have yet to see. Why would you kill the beat? If it was me, I'd let it breathe. Let it seethe into the earlobes of the eager people. All life is equal, lose the ego and get off your steeple. Rhymes seem so evil, but evil backwards is live. So as long as we live, we will still have evil to give. But Sid, if there's evil, then that means there must be good. Well, it would, but the universe is so misunderstood. This duality perspective that we all have not rejected is proof that the inside of our minds is still imperfected. I have not been selected, nor do I think I'm prophetic, but I was definitely put on this earth to relay this message. You could interpret this and say that Sid's a lunatic, straight out the loony bin, but who the hell wishes they knew this shit? They subdue the youthful minds with useless foolishness, and we don't realize that it's the radio consuming them. Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just stop for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. Let me tell you about the knowledge that I wish I didn't know. Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just pause for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. Let me tell you about the knowledge that I wish I didn't know.
Yeah. Smash mics like blueberry pancakes, speaking handshakes and beautiful landscapes. The herb stinks like a whole new species. Plant seeds like Johnny Apple to make the trees breathe. And while they feed on greed and fake power, we devour new words and dance through rain showers. And now they jealous, overzealous in fact, trying to confiscate the melodies we brought to the track. The problem is that all this love reigns supreme, and these cold-hearted characters could never intervene. Watch it flood like blue streams on HD screen, till we rise to the top like some fresh tea steam. Don't be too mean. The universe is watching, silly little particles thinking it's all about you. In the grand scheme of things, you were smaller than a mouse too. And I don't mean you ain't wonderful, you are. You're a star, come with me, live slow and love hard. Come with me, live slow and love hard. And you can still move slow and get far. Yeah. And when I'm high, I can feel it in my eye. And when I'm low, I just don't know where to go. Hit the bowl and I'm surrounded by smoke. Then I go to my grandma's house, she smell it, says oh no.
I ride by sliding on the wrong side of the road. I won't survive with these vehicles on my side. These corns ready the coldest in the coast. Okay nigga, whatever floats your boat. Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just stop for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. Let me tell you about the knowledge that I wish I didn't know. Some people like it fast, I like it slow. I wish the whole world would just pause for a moment. If you gon' ash it, then pass it before you blow. No lighter, I just ignited with the fire in my soul.